with that though, just is there any is there any comments on the minutes from last week, last month?
No, they look fine.
It was good under
Motion
my part
to
too.
accept.
Do we have a second?
Second.
There we go. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Just while we still have full quorum, are there any issues that we're gonna have to be voting on tonight? And should we go over any of those right now, just before hitting other items? I don't know if we
None that
do
I
have
know
the
of.
quorum voting thing, so. Okay,
No.
good. In that case, let's go ahead and we'll follow our, sorry, any other issues that I should be aware of that besides that would have been, that would not come up under executive session, or again, I can't think of anything in particular, but if so, please let me know.
Just from a management standpoint, just to let you know, we had our HUD MOR review for Millport Phase 2. We have received a letter last week with the findings, and we're working to respond to those findings. Nothing of sustenance or anything to be concerned with, just a little procedural dotting the i's, crossing the t's. As a, for instance, on the HUD form 9887, which is the notice of authorization to release information, we use the HUD Hartford office, which would seem sort of logical considering we're in
Yep.
Connecticut, and it actually needs to be HUD Boston office. So it's some little logistical things, and we're missing signatures on a form, and they'd like to see our EIV thing. So nothing of sustenance or anything to be concerned with. Also received this week was, and Scott, as you know, we received the notice that Spectrum will be doing their LAHTC, the low income housing tax credit audit of phase 2 as well. So back-to-back audits for phase 2. So we're working, just dotting the i's and crossing the t's. Again, a lot of that was done during our HUD review, but just finalizing some of the different program compliance gaps, if there are any, and going forward with that process. So, just motoring through, there's really not to anything that's earth shattering or ground breaking in regard to what's going on from other than going through, what we've already sent over. And I happen to notice that Rick didn't send over the work orders or the AR, so I apologize for that. I'll make sure that gets done tomorrow. So, in terms of things that we can discuss outside of executive, those are the very high level things,
Sounds
vacancies and filling it in and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Did you have any questions for us on any items?
I did not. I know that stuff's going on, and again, just getting our paperwork tidied up. And I know at Cobb's Inc., we've had, I think, 4 OSHA violations over the last 25 years. 3 of them are for using the wrong form or having the wrong person sign a form. You're like, thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Very helpful. Very helpful.
But I will take reviews like this.
Yep.
Any day. So
Uneventful.
yeah.
That's it.
Sure.
Cool.
I'll
And
dot
later
that I.
on, you can fill me in on the vacancies and breakdown. We can do that later so Scott can go on with the meeting.
Yep.
All right. So let's see, Bernie, actually, why don't you go ahead and if you want to call in the tenants, I'm on a phone, so I can't tell who was here, and I'm not sure who showed up in which order. And
Okay.
just as a quick reminder
we-
to tenants, please keep to about 2 to 3 minutes or something, and just higher order would be appreciated.
I think the first tenant to show up was Lisa. Lisa, do you have any comments or questions?
I'm just here to listen.
Okay,
Thank
we'll
you
give
for
you
joining
something
us.
to listen to them. Looks like Jim Westlake. No response.
No, I'm here. I just needed to unmute. Just a couple of comments, or a comment and a question. I appreciate the addition of the signs on the buildings. It makes it much easier for first responders to find residences and potentially residents in trouble. So I think that was a good addition to the complex. The second thing is maybe in the future with the blast emails or the call max calls, if there's something anticipated, such as service to HVAC or something, if that's known like a month ahead of time, maybe management could say, well, next month we expect to do this. I mean, we do get the calls now. We've got one in now that we just received earlier this week that pest control is going to come here. But it might be good to even have further advance that, if there's something major, like HVAC maintenance or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, the earlier the notice, the better. I'm sure the Westmount challenge, the slight challenges, of course, vendors these days change their dates very quickly and at last minute. But yeah, I think that getting more notice is definitely better. So, okay, thank you, Jim, and big thanks to Peggy who quarterbacked the signage issue, and that's been a long time coming, and I'm glad that that's finally happened.
Okay, the next person would be Cindy.
Hi all. Scott, will you have a hamburger for me, okay?
Actually, it's a pizza truck up at the Waveney picnic thing. So yes, but I
Okay,
will. I'll have a slice for you.
I'll be up shortly. So I just want to say that the signage is great, and also the loitering. Amy, kudos. The letter was fantastic, and it did its job. I did not get the call max on the pest control, so can someone tell me when they're coming?
Yes. Sorry. Oh, yep. Yeah, okay. They're coming this week on Thursday and Friday. The high-rise buildings are supposed to be Thursday and the mills is supposed to be on Friday.
Oh, okay.
I think it's the call max was the opposite. The mill apartments on Thursday and the high rises on Friday. That's what the call max message said.
I think I do have a tendency to mix that up. I apologize, but yeah.
Well,
I think
it's important
correct.
because
Whatever call
I
max says,
personally
I do
changed my
too.
schedule based on that. So I would really like to know. So it's definitely be Thursday for the high rise. Okay.
Wait,
You just changed it.
I'll confirm it and give you all a call. No problem. I'm gotta look in the call max system right now then. Because I just
Okay,
sent
good.
the call max out. I apologize. I did that
Amy,
this week.
can you check to see why I wasn't called? I didn't get a call.
The blast went out to everybody. I have everything there, all the numbers, whatever's in my system.
Yeah,
It's already what's there. I don't pick and choose
yeah.
the
No,
properties.
of
I
course.
send it all out.
Cindy,
No,
we'll double check the number and follow up with you if we think that it's something different than what we have, okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that
we
was
can
great.
definitely.
Yeah, I usually get, so I was kind of surprised I didn't get one this week, but sometimes
Yeah,
you
you
don't
would have
get
got, we would have got two of them this week. One dealing with parking and the other one dealing with pest control.
Yeah, I didn't get either one, so that'd be great if you could check it.
Will do. I will do that and give you a call.
Thank-
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
The
this
next
is
person
Jim
would be
Westlake.
Wendy.
I'm sorry, this is Jim Westlake. Just to go back to that point, I'm sorry to interrupt, but again, clarify pest control, the dates as to which units are going on which day.
So it's exactly how Bernie said. The high rise are on Friday, right? And the mills are gonna be on Thursday.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just checked.
I'm
And
good.
thank you.
Next person, Wendy.
Thank you from Wendy. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for confirming that the mill is tomorrow. And just wondering if the signage is complete, or are there more things planned, like at intersections or anything like that? Or is this it for a while? And it's nice what's here.
No, Wendy, there's still, the signs are on premises, but, the site staff is gonna be installing the ground signs with directions. There's gonna be like a major directory near, like the main entrance, near the, office, community room. And then signs throughout the site directing you to different buildings, and like, as you go up the driveway, it's kind of like, keep going, keep going up the top of the hill. There's more up there,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So they just haven't been installed yet. And the next phase will be interior signage in the high rises so that people know which units are on which floors when they come into the vestibules. So that'll be on me after these get up. Then I'm looking for a graphic designer to work on those for me.
Okay.
So that's where it stands.
Also, the in the Mill Apartments on the second floor, they don't have any signage on which door is which. You got a left and a right, and so that may have to be put on the list too.
You mean when there's a shared doorway between different units?
Yes, I mean, yeah, they
Yeah, they're going to
come
be
in a door
signs.
down below.
There's going to be signs placed on every door that delineate which door to go, which units are reached behind that door.
Okay, that's good.
Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But you just mentioned the high rises were going to get their things, and I just didn't want the people in Mill on the second floor to be forgotten.
No, and there's not, it's not a hallway with multiple units off of it in Mill on the second floor, right? It's like two
No,
units that go up.
it's just a left and a right, but if like someone had some sort of health issue and then they're going up the stairs and don't know, or if they don't get a response because they don't know what address it is or something.
Do they have numbers on their doors?
No, not
Okay,
unless,
well-
as far as I know,
We can put stickers on the doors.
Yeah, we can put stickers on the doors inside. So that,
Gunnar can
Okay.
do that. He's done it in all the other doors
yeah,
already.
we'll look at that. Thank you. I didn't
Okay.
realize there were
Okay.
multiple units on the second floor in
Yeah,
each
well,
doorway.
it's a left and a right, and it's a very small platform, and you know, if
Okay.
someone's not there or they just can't hear a knock on the door, and so
Okay,
that
well, we'll look at
to
it.
make that conform. Thank you.
Yep.
And I think that's it. And basically, I'm listening, and so that's it for me.
Okay,
I
thank
do
you.
like the signs, though.
I'm glad you do. So I guess, Tim, you want to continue?
Yeah, the move into some regular business, I would say.
So
Is Scott gone?
yes. So gonna go, I guess Westmount will give the full report.
Yeah, the full report's from Westmount. But
Sure. Amy, and Anna, would you like to run through your status report?
Sure, give me 1 second.
I don't know why. Do you guys-
Okay. So looking at the Mills apartment, we are actually doing good with receiving tenant rent. We have one person who moved out, which is Austin Allister. There was a discrepancy in Unit 8A, which I have to call Boston Post to figure out that ledger. Everyone else in Millport is pretty good. And for phase 1, we
Remember,
have
Anna, we don't need to give specifics on tenants, though. Okay,
Okay.
just
So
overarching.
basically, okay, no problem. So basically, everyone's been paying their rent. We just have a few people that are in legal in phase 2, but otherwise, everyone's just been paying their rent on time.
Great news.
Wonderful.
good.
I'm sure the people online would like to know that.
Yay.
And then Amy, want to run through the balance with vacancies and,
Yes, that way we need to
Yeah,
know.
so you, do you hear me?
Yes,
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, because I'm getting an echo on my end. I'm sorry. Okay, so I have the total units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total units that are vacant at this time. I have 3 of them that are supposed to be moving in this week. I have the transferring this week as well. And then the other 2 apartments that just became available was the beginning of July. They're being worked on. They have a lot of work to be done on them, painting and prepping and stuff, carpeting and so forth. So those are the other 2. For right now, those 2 that came up now are the 3-bedroom and the 2-bedroom. So the 2-bedroom is supposed to be another transfer for a household that is being underhoused. So they're in a 1-bedroom, a family of 4, so they need to go to the 2-bedroom. And they've been on the wait list for quite some time. So that's gonna happen right now. And then we might I have an applicant for the 3-bedroom. So we're just in process of getting all this paperwork in. I had to, with the 1-bedrooms that we had, I had to wait on some documentation. I also am waiting now for Section 8 to come and do an inspection of one of the apartments because it's an outside voucher. And then the other 2 are, they should be moving in by the end of this week, or no later than Monday. I have the one lady changed her date. She was supposed to move in on Saturday. I was coming in Saturday to sign a lease. She's gonna come on Monday with her money orders and stuff. So we'll do it then. But it looks like we should be quickly turning over these. So by September, hopefully willing. We just got notice that another tenant might be vacating too. So that's another 1-bedroom, but I have a backup person already.
Great.
Great.
How are you feeling about wait list?
The wait list it's majority of these people that are applying are people that need Section 8. They need assistance. So we do not have those apartments. So we are having difficulty in getting the right people for these units. And that's what I was coming across previously. That's why it's taking a little longer to fill these units, because people are not making the income. And I'm not going to
Sure.
disservice them, nor am I going to
No.
disservice us. So I have a minimum requirement for them to get in, so that they can afford to pay the rent that they're supposed to be paying.
No, it doesn't help anybody to go bankrupt trying to be here. So
Yeah,
It
no,
is-
it's crazy because if our 1-bedrooms are 1,500, and you're making only 40,000 a year, you're not going to have enough to pay your light bill, to pay what other bills you might have, food and all that. It doesn't, I'm disservicing them if I'm trying to put them in an apartment that they can't really afford.
Is there
So-
any access, or are you able to refer them to places where they can at least apply for Section 8 vouchers?
Yes, this is what I'm doing. So when they call for an application, what we're doing now is I am calling them back, and I'm getting a phone number because I get a lot of emails too. I get a phone number, I call them, I ask them what their income is and so forth, and how many people in their household, and what are they looking for? Are they looking for Section 8 housing, or, and then I tell them what size, ask them what size, how many people. And then they're like, oh, well, I need a 2-bedroom. So, okay, 2-bedrooms right now are 1,700. So what is your means of, payment? And then they're like, oh, well, I only make 30,000. Okay. So right now at this time, I don't have anything that you would qualify for at this time. So, then I give them other options. They could call 211 and see what wait lists are currently open at this time through the state. And that's how that would work for me.
Okay, thank you. And do you have any ideas, like with Section 8 vouchers? I mean, are there any out there? What's the wait list for them? Do you know how they're allocated or?
Yeah, they are, each town has their own, when their list is opening. So it's just a matter of you calling 211 and seeing when they're open. There
Okay.
is a website, but the website I don't like it because it doesn't generate and populate them in advance. So
Yeah.
you would know, like, this list is open in July, or this list is open in November. So it doesn't do that. It does it when it's gonna happen, and then it happens, and then it's so fast, like a week or two,
Yeah.
boom, and it's gone. So you have to call 211. You have to be proactive in your search as well. So that's how that would work for them. So I tell them call
Sure.
211 and they'll able to direct them in the right direction.
Got it. Thank you.
Amy, I have a question. What towns allow people to bring their vouchers to New Canaan? I know Danbury Housing Authority does. Are there other towns that allow people to port them into different towns?
Okay, so any town that you live in has to be automatically ported. So if you're in Meriden, you're in New Haven, you're in Waterbury, you're in wherever town you're in, Stanford, Greenwich, your voucher always will go to whatever state you're in, whatever town you're in. It comes from there, but it has to be ported to Danbury in order for us to be able to
Right.
receive it.
That's what I thought.
That's how
Yeah.
that works.
They absorb them.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
how that works. Yeah, the other side of it, I don't know of how it works out for them, because someone was mentioning something that, oh, but why is it still getting paid by Meriden? And I'm like, I have the slightest idea. I am not on that end. I'm not on that receiving end over there. So I guess
Okay,
the money
thanks.
goes, the way the funneling of the money goes.
Out of this might be a silly question. Well, and again, it may be a question for a different venue, but would it be, I mean, I know there's requirements for who's allowed to issue Section 8 vouchers. And I'm just wondering if like New Canaan couldn't like utilize our health and human service folks or some other people inside there to become like an official housing authority, at least just to get the vouchers. I don't know if that's even possible, and I don't know if there's any towns the size of New Canaan that have vouchers on their own. I don't know if
No. Everything is going through the sub through J. D'Amelia, which is the one that's doing all the Section 8 vouchering basically for Connecticut at this
Yeah,
time.
or Imagineers. Those
Or
are pretty
Imagineers,
much
yeah.
the two.
Yeah, those are the only
So-
two that are allowed to do that at this time.
So why? But if like Danbury gets vouchers, why can't New Canaan?
I can maybe, so I don't know too much about it, but I can certainly ask some people, like I can ask the executive director of Meriden Housing Authority, because he knows the programs. He came from Stanford too. So Rob Capoletti might be a good resource of somebody that I could reach out to just to sort of get the general
And
overarching, what does it take? Is it feasible? Is it possible? And move forward. I honestly don't know the answer to that. Rick might have.
It's a lot of work. I know that it's a lot of work because
Well-
once you open yourself up to having Section 8 vouchers, you are going to consistently have to have a list, consistently monitoring it. You have to do all the paperwork and background for those
Yeah.
vouchers as well. So it's a
I'm-
lot involved. It's a
I'm
staff.
hoping to have someone else in the town hall of New Canaan handle that. So under no circumstances are
Yeah.
volunteer committee going to be qualified or have the time to do this.
Yeah.
So
I'll-
that's the intent. But
I can ask
if
the
I know what I'm
overarching
asking for,
question.
then I can figure out. Yeah.
No,
Thank you.
yeah, great. No problem.
I know it's a lot. It's like the word of
Mm.
the year. It's a
No,
lot.
we've been very warned under this one, but again, as we look forward and just how do we,
Make it
whatever we
easier,
can do
yeah.
helps.
Right.
And
Yeah,
at this point, the town again is much more focused on these issues. And so again, what was impossible before becomes possible. Not likely, but at least possible.
Yeah, but
Okay.
like to Amy's point, I mean, we do use health and human services and helping with people getting like rapid rehousing vouchers and the community outreach people that they have
Yep.
contacts with, people that work with specifically with those who are victims of violence, and there's different programs for that versus elderly and so on and so forth. So they are a really good resource for us, and we too, like Catholic Charities and some other agencies like that, we will reach out to try to help people as well.
Yeah,
Got it.
we actually gonna have on Monday, the 7th. I have to put the notice out yet. We're gonna have the community action is gonna be
Mhm.
here on site here in the community room. to offer the services and what services they do have available in assisting anybody with utility bills or rents, back rents and stuff like that. And if they need any like food stamps or anything like that, they'll be helping them with various, whatever they need, their needs are,
Great.
they're gonna be here to be able to do an outreach.
Whatever we can do to help our tenants, those in need, the better we help them, the better off we are. So we know that that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
super. All right, anything else for me? I'm gonna drop now that I've asked like 8 questions in a row or something, but anyone need anything else from me? right.
Bye.
Enjoy, Scott.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Scott.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Scott. Bye.
Okay, Westman, are you satisfied with what you reported? You done with your status report?
I would just to sort of continue to go down the report and just that we had some sprinkler inspections done. We had some repairs that needed to get done as a result of that. We also had an issue with something within the sprinkler system, which was leaking, and we've repaired that because the way that it was leaking, whatever the substance was dripping onto a module that would then be the notifier. So we caught it, had them fix it immediately. So that was resolved.
Was that at Mill or Millport?
Millport.
Yeah, because they're different sprinkler systems.
Right. The other thing, a little bit of a pet project, I was gonna try to get a little bit more information on this, is because of the spikes in the highs and lows. I was talking with Rick about this a little bit with the energy, and he's saying reach out to Eversource. Eversource is not particularly helpful. So I was actually working with another actually somebody that I used to work for back in the day when I was in college, and they are electrical wholesale company, and I have a good relationship with them. And I was talking with some of the people there, and there are devices that help when there are super spikes and then super lows with getting it to keep it even Steven so that we're not going to blow things. So I started this conversation with him right before I left for vacation, and Eaton is the electric vendor who may be able to come out and install something to sort of assess for like a month or two on what's going on and when, and sort of trying to get a sense of what the trends are and when's it happening and why. Obviously, there's going to be lows when we have brownouts with all the energy like issues that we had last week with the heat and everybody's running their air conditioning. So the energy draw drops down, and that triggers some things to behave a certain way, versus when we have electric storms and we have a super surge, and that causes something else to behave a certain way as well. So it's a little pet project of mine. I'm not going to spend any money on it, but if there's a vendor that's out there that will help us with assessing that, it was something that I'm working on in the background. Because it just seems unreasonable the amount of times that our equipment is going down, whether it be with our phone system, whether it be the internet, whether it be our key fob system, whether it be, the camera system. It doesn't seem reasonable with the frequency in which things are going down or not connecting well.
By the way, did they complete all the generators already?
From what I heard, no. I still haven't gotten any emails from Niall either. So I'm pretty much left in the dark.
We've been really left in the dark with the whole project. We've
I
not
know.
gotten a lot of notice or information despite our various requests. We understand there isn't a lot of profound impact to the residents other than them being shut off and then turned on maybe at a moment in time. But just with the traffic and the things that are going on, we've been left a little bit on the dark on that end.
I agree.
Literally.
Uncle, is Niall the one coordinating it for David? Is that what's going on, Bernie? I think it's probably
Yeah,
worth.
pretty much so, but he kind of left it. I've been in touch with them. I've been involved in it. They just stopped notifying me. I saw they delivered some generators, And Gunnar said, well, they're on schedule, but we don't know if they completed the job or what's happening because I haven't walked around and looked at them. But they're basically, you know, for the hallway lighting, for the key fobs, and, you know, basically for the, you know, essential services, not for the tenants.
Right. And it sounds like a lot of the stuff that you're having trouble with is a low voltage, which tends to be really susceptible to spikes in particular.
Yes.
So I think if we can look at, you know, some way of evening it out, getting some kind of UPS filter on it would help.
Yeah, there, I forget
Well,
the
they've had
term.
problems with it. There is a UPS system and battery backup, but it doesn't last too long. And there've been problems with it, which was the reason generators were the next solution.
Maybe the UPS system isn't working. I mean, if you're still having spikes and lows. So anyway, so
Yeah,
it's worth looking at if we can do it in an
Maybe we should
economical
have
way.
another electrical contractor look at it, because, you know, the one that's working at it has been good generally, but we've had difficulties with them in the past in terms of scheduling and times.
Well,
And
maybe
that's,
maybe Ann's friend
Super
could take a
K.
look
Yeah,
at
the
it and pinpoint
TVSS
it.
system is what it's called, a TVSS. It's transient voltage surge protection systems.
Mhm.
And it's when there's direct power surges that are going on, but it also can be, like you said, like the brownouts when there's, you know, a spike with power lines, and with everybody using them, you know, if it's time sensitive or load sensitive, we're just trying to figure it out a little bit. And Eaton is the vendor who has a rep that would be able to maybe help with that. So again, a little bit of a project and trying to figure out with him some cost-effective ways to monitor and to solve.
I think that's a good idea all around.
And in regard to some other of the compliance things that are going on, again, the team was sending out their notices. I heard some feedback, thank you, with regard to what we've been trying to accomplish in terms of the garbage and, you know, kids hanging out and some of those other things that are going on, just some little housekeeping items and just gentle reminders to say, hey, this is happening. Keep in mind, this is what the rules are. And we've been trying to be more diligent about that and charging based on what the charge list is when there are violations. Other than that, I mean, we can tell folks in terms of our next inspections, we can, to Jim's point, we will work to sort of give them a notice as far ahead as possible. For instance, our sprinkler systems are every 3 months. They were there on April 3rd, but they were there recently. They'll be there again in the fall. And pest control, the next time that the quarterly extermination will be early November, so like 2nd and 3rd. If you guys want to put it in your calendars, but again, just knowing the fact that that could potentially change in the exact dates and times. That's the general property status report. Overarching in the financials, we're tracking mostly as anticipated. Again, the big nut is that insurance, the property liability and umbrella insurance, and it being so ghastly expensive and double what we've been paying in the past years. So that's always been one that's not one any of us really anticipated, but are still actively working on trying to find people. Once we pay the 3rd down, then we can jump ship if we need to, if we find somebody that it makes financial sense and equal amount of coverage. Needle in the haystack, but we are still looking for that. So we have some leads on some things. We're chasing those, but tracking around the same budget line. Again, focusing on ARs and vacancies are things that we can control and try to control. Evictions as necessary. We don't like to do that. We again, always like to do the in-house repayment agreements, allowing an opportunity for tenants to get caught up in-house in a reasonable amount of time. But unfortunately, sometimes we're forced to do things that we don't like to do. Was there anything specific? And again, I apologize. I will get the AR reports and the work order reports with the specifics. And if there's something, Bernie, when I was looking at the reports for work order reports per your request, I can do the general summary. If I was to send to you each individual work order, that would be the only other way to attain a better detail. I wish there was a better way that I could give you some better overarching information on what our general work orders are. I can give you some samples to take a look at to see if there's something that works in information wise.
Yeah, I just want to comment on that, Andy. It was the way the reports used to come from you early on in the game. They were a lot different, and it doesn't have to be, a complete work order. I'll go through my paperwork and then I'll discuss it with you. It doesn't have to be during the
Yeah,
meeting.
let me know and I'll be glad to get it in over whatever format. But
Okay.
really, it's been the Spectrum and HUD audits aside, and doing our couple, projects that we've been plugging away at and chipping away at. It's do I even say these words? All quiet on the Western Front. But
Okay,
there we have it.
thank you. Any Peggy or Bernie, does anything else on the status report catch your eye?
No,
You want to
we
comment on?
have to see the paperwork.
Hmm?
I don't see anything else. I don't see anybody have any reason that we need an executive session?
I don't think so. And just want to make sure that you were part of that email from David McCarthy, who's been
Oh, yes.
found for the insurance.
Rick, I think that's the one I was saying that he,
Okay.
and it's,
He's looking into. Okay.
Okay.
it is one of those things that almost looks too good to be true.
Yeah,
But
it's a
I
little-
was like,
yeah.
is that quarterly? Or they're like, he's like, no. And I was like, really? I'd like to sit down with the paperwork and look through it a little bit with a fine tooth comb. I'm really excited that David found that. I haven't gotten that email yet. Rick just gave me the high level this morning when I saw him for a hot second.
Okay.
But yeah,
We can
I'll
forward
get
it.
the
We can forward it to
information.
you.
Actually,
I mean, it just-
I mean, if-
they're supposed to visit the property and do a full assessment and give us an actual proposal, and that's what we're waiting for.
Yeah.
So that's just sort of a guess, an average, but we'll see what the actual thing comes. Hopefully, it will be low.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome. But again, we want to make sure that that's what it is.
Right,
So-
apples to apples.
Yeah.
And we would need to pay the third of the premium on what's going on now. I know that for sure.
Right. Okay. I don't think so. The only would be, and maybe Anna can answer this, for the 3-bedroom that you're looking at. You say you have an applicant in. If that applicant doesn't turn out, do we have a wait list for 3 bedrooms that we could tap, or do you go to Canaan Parish to their wait list? Because they've got wait lists over there as well.
No, we
you
have applicants. We have quite a few applicants that are looking for
Okay.
3-bedroom.
Yeah, it's the one
Okay.
bedrooms. I think, as you guys know, they're no stranger to being, it's just this really fine amount that people need to make. And it's there's not a ton of wiggle room because you can't have somebody be overqualified, make too much because of the 830G, and you can't have somebody make too little because then the issue about paying the rent. So sometimes it's having somebody that's coming in with their own voucher sort of solves and closes that gap for us. That's the best solution. So we've marketed to DSS with letting them know, hey, we have affordable 1 bedrooms. If you guys have anybody that has a voucher and is looking for a place, again, great community, great school system, let us know. We tried our different avenues with regard to that. It's just, it's a really pickly place to be.
Okay.
All right.
Bernie, Peggy, you want to wrap it up?
Yes.
Sounds good.
Okay, well, thanks to Westmount.
Thank you.
A not exciting month is a good month.
Yeah.
For the residents that are still on, I put some solar lights onto the sign out in front of Millport. I forgot to go by after dark last night. I kind of went to bed at like 9 o'clock. It was a long day. So I don't know whether they worked or not. So if you have any feedback driving in, if the light is lighted enough, if it's too lighted. So trying to make sure that we have adequate, a little bit of lighting on the sign so that people can find it. So just let us know.
This is the one on the street?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it was dark on the north side.
It was dark last night on the north side?
No, I didn't. I usually come the other way, but I noticed days ago or something shortly after it came.
Right. I just put them in yesterday
okay.
afternoon.
All right.
So
I'll go look.
last night would have been the first night that they would have been on. I'm going to try to get over there tonight and see. Yeah, if you see me, if you see a weirdo like kind of adjusting something in the bushes, that's me.
Another weirdo? No.
Another weirdo. Sorry.
You might.
And we have the full moon too, or the
good.
Just past full moon. So that's why the weirdos would be there.
That's it. Be out there with the other ones. Okay.
Yep. Well, thank you very much for doing that, and hopefully
it's just you can't tell what it's doing. In the daytime, it's like, oh well, let's just see what it looks like at night. So hopefully it'll work. And
the nature of lighting.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get out in under dark of night. And now the sun doesn't set till so late. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for this sign.
Take care, everyone.
Well, we'll keep it.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.